Hi everyone, and welcome to the AhReWriter channel. My name is Ari, and today I'd like to talk about something that I think is quite interesting. I've been thinking throughout my life, there must be a simple answer that explains why things the way they are in our life. Why people act the way they do, why the world's history is the way that it is, and what is the world, what are dimensions, and what is the answer to life and the meaning of life and all of those things. And sometimes I come up with very interesting and kind of silly choices, such as, oh, perhaps this is just a simulation. You know, the movie The Matrix inspired that in me. And perhaps this is all a test. So if we perhaps pass away, maybe we'll wake up and they'll say, oh, you failed. Well, either you'll try again or, this is it, and back to the actual reality. So it's quite interesting to think about what is the meaning of it all and where did it all begin. And I came up with two theories that I think explain some fundamental concepts and could explain why things the way they are right now and why people think the way they do right now. So the theory is interesting. The concept is that with human civilization and different factions of humanity, people have essentially gravitated towards a very natural and simple response to how to get what you want in life. And what I'm focusing on right now are finite resources. So when it comes to minerals and fossil fuels, and even things like different kinds of food, etc., and even other people, people tend to gravitate towards taking what they want by force because it seems like the simple solution to everything. We've seen it in all of the wars that we've seen. We've seen it in people hurting each other and killing each other. And we've seen it in different kinds of books, such as fantasy books and even sci-fi books and even fiction and nonfiction books. Now, when it comes to sci-fi, something came to my mind where, what if there are aliens? And we don't really know if that's the case. If there are, where are they, etc., etc. And there's many sci-fi books that talk about this. And I think the concept is as follows. That it seems like in many of these sci-fi books, most aliens are pretty advanced, and basically there's almost no negotiating with them. Their goal is to conquer all of humanity for a multitude of reasons. It could just be an instinct. It could be because their own planet is running out of resources and they need more, and our planet isn't as developed, so we still have some finite resources available. It could be just because that's their motto and they just basically want to conquer the entire universe. And so the theory, I basically call it the divide until singular theory. What does this mean? This means that basically, let's say that aliens do exist and they detect Earth and they come to attack us. Well, let's say that they win. Well, they conquer Earth, and then they'll go on to conquer other civilizations all over the galaxy, as long as their technology permits it, of course. Eventually, one race of beings will come out as victorious, and the galaxy will have no other life that is intelligent, except for this one intelligent life. Once this happens, basically, that one alien race will probably divide into different kinds of factions, because different people in the race do not have everything. Not everyone can have everything at the same time. Therefore, out of essentially greed and sometimes need, other factions will start to form in order to take what they want. This will continue until one faction remains, basically a smaller group of those beings. And then, within that group of beings that typically trust each other, maybe there's a familial bond, maybe there's love involved and things like that, eventually, as generations are born from them, they don't have the same familial and emotional bonds with these people, and therefore, they'll basically conquer each other. My theory is that this will continue to happen until eventually there's one being left. Not just a faction of beings anymore, but just one singular being, one person. Let's call it a person for simplicity's sake. If there's one person left, then I have a theory. I think that this is a cycle of life that has repeated numerous times. Although I think that the most recent time it happened is with a being that many religions have called El, or Adonai, which is Hebrew for God, basically. And a lot of the larger religions, such as Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, basically believe in one God. Therefore, my theory is that the one God that has been talked about in different kinds of religious texts was the victor of his own galactic battle. Technology became so advanced for that being that he was able to transcend the third dimension into the fourth and perhaps beyond. Therefore, this makes sense and kind of explains why the stories in the Bible of this God not only show that he's able to create fiery tornadoes and split the seas and create large floods, but that he's imperfect and has apologized on numerous occasions to other humans in the third dimension in the Bible and said, "Oh, I created the flood. I see now it was a mistake. I shouldn't have got mad at the fact that there were basically groups of humans that didn't believe in me and just decided, you know what, it's too late, let me flood the world, start all over again with basically my one follower, his family, and 2 of every animal." I'm talking about, of course, Noah's Ark. And so this makes sense because no being is perfect, but it does seem like God is everywhere, and it seems like God is perfect. And when people pray to the one God, usually it's, God is merciful, God is great, and all of these adjectives that describe how awesome God is. So if God was the victor of his own war, then this could continue. And you can see it happening throughout our history as human beings, that people have tried to conquer each other and take what they wanted. Usually because these finite resources are split up across different parts of our world, people will try to conquer each other. Or here's the second part of this. So obviously the greedy, easy, natural one is divide until singular versus the trade for prosperity choice. This is much tougher. This is not a natural thing for people to gravitate towards. It seems like this is something that happens either as a compromise or out of tolerance, respect, and all of the positive attributes that we can assign to beings and humans in this case. So trading for prosperity means that we live with each other. We work with each other. We trade for what we need. We don't need everything, but a little bit of everything would be nice so that we can do whatever we want. Some people are simpler and don't really need to do so much, so to speak. But some people want it all. And so there is a compromise that allows these people to essentially trade for what they need, not take it by force, not hurt or kill others or control other people in order to get what they want. And in the end, in my opinion, if we make this choice to trade, we will become prosperous. This is what true prosperity is. This is what working together and teamwork truly is at its fundamental core. And I think this is something that a lot of people do. Excuse me, silly joke. And a lot of people, I think, do want to do this, especially if they are kind people and if they want friends and if they want to form good relationships with people that involve trust and, more than anything, respect. I think to respect another being means to just try and trade with them. And you could even see emotional and mental traits, for example, with animals, how there's people who are trying to save animals and create conservations for them and prevent animals from going fully extinct. And what are animals really giving us back? Well, they're giving us back scientific progress, they're giving us back companionship, they're giving us just the fact that we can view them and see them and experience that. So they're giving us memories and stories to tell. And all of this isn't important for some people, but I think for a lot of people it is. For me, it's important to have these stories and to have the possibility of interacting with as many people, such a variety of people and animals and other beings as possible, without really trying to interfere with their lives and control them and really tell them what to do or take them out. That, to me, isn't nice. This is why I think we have laws in a lot of the civilizations that we have now that say, please don't kill. And even in the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not kill is there for a reason. Perhaps this victor of his own galactic war, the one that is called God, perhaps he realizes that this choice can happen, and maybe he's trying to break the cycle of destruction and dividing until singular. Because in the end, if we keep attacking each other and trying to conquer, eventually we'll just be alone. And then who will we interact with? Who will we learn from? Who will we exponentially grow with and develop new technologies and new inventions? So I urge you guys to think about this. I hope that all of us trade for prosperity and stop dividing until we're singular, not only physically, but also mentally in our heads, to not isolate ourselves from each other and to try and work with each other and to seek to understand each other so that we can trade, whether it's physical things or even just to trade ideas and just to trade love in general. So thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully it was interesting to you guys as well, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.